Hi everyone, glad to see you back on the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most impactful and far-reaching weather events the United States has experienced in recent times, a severe winter storm that has swept across vast regions of the country and affected millions of lives in dramatic and sometimes devastating ways. This storm is more than just a weather headline. It's a story about nature's power, community resilience, infrastructure stress, and the human cost of extreme conditions. The storm began as a powerful Arctic system pushing southward, colliding with warmer, moisture-rich air. This clash created the perfect conditions for heavy snowfall, freezing rain, sleet, and dangerously low temperatures. What made this system particularly severe was not just its intensity, but its sheer size. It stretched across multiple states at once, making it difficult for emergency services, utility crews, and transportation networks to keep up. In many areas, snowfall totals reached historic levels. Some communities saw several feet of snow in a matter of days, overwhelming snow removal operations and burying homes, cars, and roads. In other places, the storm brought layers of ice that coated everything from power lines to tree branches. The weight of this ice caused widespread damage, snapping lines and toppling trees, leading to massive power outages that lasted days or even weeks in some regions. The cold that followed was just as dangerous as the snow and ice. Temperatures plunged far below normal seasonal averages, with wind chills reaching life-threatening levels. In some parts of the country, people were warned that exposed skin could suffer frostbite in minutes. These conditions made it extremely dangerous for anyone stranded outdoors, whether due to car breakdowns, power failures, or homelessness. Travel quickly became chaotic. Major highways were shut down as accidents piled up and visibility dropped to near zero during whiteout conditions. Airports canceled thousands of flights, leaving travelers stuck far from home or sleeping on terminal floors. Train services were delayed or suspended entirely, and even emergency vehicles struggled to navigate icy streets. For many families, holiday plans, work schedules, and essential appointments were suddenly thrown into disarray. One of the most serious consequences of the storm was the strain on the power grid. As demand for heating surged, utilities were pushed to their limits. Power plants struggled with frozen equipment, and down transmission lines cut off electricity to entire neighborhoods. In freezing temperatures, losing power is not just an inconvenience. It can quickly become a life-threatening situation, especially for the elderly, young children, and those with medical conditions that require electricity-powered devices. Emergency shelters were opened across multiple states to provide warmth and safety for those without power or adequate heating. Community centers, schools, and churches became temporary refuges, staffed by volunteers who provided blankets, hot meals, and basic medical care. These shelters highlighted the importance of local preparedness and the role of community support during crises. Sadly, the storm also claimed lives. Reports emerged of fatalities caused by hypothermia, car accidents on icy roads, carbon monoxide poisoning from improper heating methods, and heart attacks triggered by strenuous snow shoveling. Each of these deaths serves as a sobering reminder that winter storms can be just as deadly as hurricanes or heat waves, even if they unfold more quietly. Rural areas faced unique challenges during the storm. Long stretches of road remained impassable, isolating small towns and farms. Emergency response times increased as crews struggled to reach people in need. Farmers worried about livestock exposed to the cold, frozen water supplies, and damaged barns. For some, the economic losses from this storm could take months or even years to recover from. Urban areas were not spared either. Cities experienced gridlocked traffic, closed schools, and overwhelmed public transit systems. Snowplows worked around the clock, but the combination of heavy snowfall and ice made progress slow. In densely populated neighborhoods, power outages affected thousands at once, amplifying the sense of urgency and frustration. The storm also reignited conversations about infrastructure resilience. Aging power grids, poorly insulated buildings, and transportation systems not designed for extreme cold were all exposed as weak points. Experts pointed out that as climate patterns shift, extreme winter weather may become more unpredictable, making it essential to invest in systems that can withstand both heat and cold extremes. Climate scientists have emphasized that while no single storm can be attributed solely to climate change, the increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events fits broader trends. Warmer global temperatures can disrupt polar air patterns, allowing Arctic air to plunge farther south than usual. This creates situations where regions unaccustomed to severe cold suddenly face conditions they are not prepared for. Local governments responded with emergency declarations, freeing up resources and allowing for faster coordination between agencies. National Guard units were deployed in some states to assist with rescues, deliver supplies, and help clear roads. These actions underscored the scale of the event and the need for coordinated responses at every level of government. Stories of resilience emerged alongside the hardship. Neighbors checked on one another, shared generators, and offered rides to warming centers. Volunteers delivered food and medication to those who couldn't leave their homes. Utility workers labored in brutal conditions to restore power, often working long shifts with little rest. These efforts showed the strength of communities when faced with shared adversity. The economic impact of the storm is expected to be significant. Businesses closed for days, supply chains were disrupted, and repair costs mounted. Insurance claims for property damage, vehicle accidents, and infrastructure repairs began to pour in. For hourly workers and small business owners, lost income during the storm added another layer of stress to an already difficult situation. Schools and universities shifted to remote learning where possible, though power and internet outages made this challenging. Parents juggled work responsibilities with childcare as schools remained closed longer than expected. For students without reliable internet access, the disruptions widened existing educational gaps. Healthcare systems also faced added pressure. Hospitals dealt with an influx of patients injured in falls, car accidents, and cold-related illnesses. At the same time, staff shortages occurred as healthcare workers struggled to get to work safely. In some areas, elective procedures were postponed to conserve resources and ensure patient safety. As temperatures slowly began to rise, a new set of challenges emerged. Melting snow and ice increased the risk of flooding, especially in areas where storm drains were blocked. Roof collapses became a concern as heavy snow loads stressed buildings. The transition from extreme cold to thaw required just as much vigilance as the storm itself. The storm has prompted many people to rethink personal preparedness. Emergency kits, backup heating options, and clear communication plans are now top of mind for households across the country. Experts recommend having several days' worth of food, water, medications, and batteries, as well as knowing where local warming centers are located. Looking ahead, meteorologists and emergency planners are studying this storm closely. Data collected from the event will help improve forecasting models and response strategies. Understanding what worked well and what didn't is crucial for better preparation in the future, especially as weather extremes continue to challenge existing systems. The emotional toll of the storm should not be overlooked. For many, days spent in the cold and dark, worrying about safety and finances, have lasting psychological effects. Children may feel anxious about future storms, while adults carry the stress of repairs and recovery. Mental health support is an important part of the long-term response to disasters like this. This winter storm serves as a powerful reminder that weather affects every aspect of our lives, from the smallest daily routines to national infrastructure. It highlights the interconnectedness of systems we often take for granted, such as electricity, transportation, and emergency services. When one part fails, the ripple effects are felt everywhere. As recovery efforts continue, attention will turn to rebuilding and strengthening communities. This includes repairing damaged infrastructure, supporting those who suffered losses, and implementing policies that reduce vulnerability to future storms. While the road to recovery may be long, it also presents an opportunity to build more resilient systems. In the end, this storm is not just a story of destruction, but also one of endurance and cooperation. It shows how quickly conditions can change, how vulnerable we can be to nature's extremes, and how important it is to look out for one another. By learning from this experience, communities across the country can be better prepared for whatever the next winter brings. Thank you for spending this time with me and taking a closer look at what this severe winter storm has meant for the United States. If you found this breakdown helpful or thought-provoking, stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel.